now it's time for something completely different. Now this is actually a replay okay, so this is gonna be something interesting. This is gonna be deciding whether the person in this replay is smurfing. Now how this came about is actually quite interesting. It's because I was browsing the StarCraft 2 Reddit and I came across this post saying that smurfs are so freaking horrible. And you know, there was a lot of discussion. I'm a silver. Let's read this one. I'm a silver Zerg. I play Toss and Terran, but found Zerg units best suit me. I beat most guys in my league and making good progress. Great, congratulations. But there's so many smurfs. I'm still learning proper macro while these guys are micro liberators. Marauders kill all my drones. Rip. Still maintaining super good macro. It frustrates me so much when I get completely disassembled by someone. Actually, I like this writing. Disassembled by someone I shouldn't be playing against, and they have like 5 MMR, so my MMR drops like 40 exclamation mark. Okay, so oh, I didn't realize that Gemini or GG Mini, but Gemini and one of the community people in the StarCraft scene, a Grandmaster Protoss, actually mentioned a replay to see. They definitely exist, but I feel like people are always exaggerating how many they actually play against. Fair point. Most people exaggerate at being gold and under. I was playing high silver, this guy was leagues above that. So here's the thing, this guy actually posted his replay. Gemini actually posted a reply saying that he thinks it's not the case. I then asked further on, here I am. I asked whether he would give me permission to cast the game, and he said sure, so we're going to do that right now. So yes, in the same vein of Hearthstone, let's see where we go. This should be interesting. Alright, so we're going to have the Lurkinator, who is a Silver League Zerg, against I'm just going to call him TY, after the famous Terran TY. Alright, let's do this. So spotting at the top of Berlingrad LE, it is TY something something. And in the bottom, the person who allowed this replay to be shared is Lurkinator. Okay, so my friend Lurkinator, if you're actually watching this, why... Wait, it's 17 seconds. Like, why isn't anyone building... I should have bought the Zergling, but the Zergling would be too painful. Oh boy, don't watch. Okay, so the question is your opponent smurfing? Let's take a look. This is a very odd build from the Terran because he's going for gas first. Normally against a Zerg you want to get your Brax before you get your gas, but not the biggest of deals. I don't know why on God's earth you went pull first. Okay, your Overlord's Zerg player, your Overlord should be going across the map. You should be building drones because you can, you have money. Something that Lurkinator did mention is that this wasn't one of my best games, which is fair. We have bad games. I recently played a Zerg vs Terran that I skipped the 2 links because I was a greedy son of a bitch, and then the Reaper came across. I thought I scouted that the Reaper, that he went straight to Reactor. It turns out no, he got a Reaper. My links were late and I lost 2 drones. Okay, you're building 6 links. You haven't sent your overlords out. Okay, but again, let's look at the. Okay, he's getting. This is pretty unusual. I would like to mention that neither side is scouted. So if you look at the minimap, like nobody knows what's going on. This is a Silver League game, as you saw by the border. So let's not criticize him too much. He's getting his orbital combine. He's gotten a second gas. He's getting a Reaper. Okay, the Terran player is doing things more correctly than our Zerg player. More correctly, not perfectly correct. The proper thing you should be doing is you should be scouting. You should be getting a CC, but turns out that this blind build is gonna hard counter the 6 links out of Lurkinator. Yeah, Lurkinator is now very, very behind in this game. Again, if you look at the replay, it's a blind counter. Okay. I'm not gonna call it a smurf yet, but the TY person is just better than the silver player. That's kind of clear. I'm sorry, Lurkinator, but that's true. Where are you going, Queen? What you doing? Brenda, get back. Hey, by the way, Wait a minute. Link speed has not started. Okay, this is not a... Okay. When you say smurf, okay, what a smurf is, apart from being a blue thing... No, not you. You're not blue, you're yellow. Okay, so the definition of a smurf is somebody who is playing way below their level. There's a debate about where the term smurf came about from. But the idea is that this is somebody who's... Let's say who's way above you, and he either tags his MMR by just leaving a bunch of games, or he plays on an all account in order to beat up on lower tier players. So it's difficult to determine if somebody is a smurf, in part because, first of all, this is a Silver League game, so what level is this guy smurfing at? Is this guy a Platinum? Because if it's Platinum against Silver, you could make a case that's a smurf. If it's Platinum against Grandmaster, that's a smurf, clearly. Because here's the thing, in the StarCraft 2 ladder system, and you need to drone a lot more, Mr. Luckinator, your queens need to be ejecting, but that's not the point. But the other issue behind all this, and by the way, Army's going back, the other issue is like, how do you define a smurf? Because when you play on the ladder, sometimes if you're in Silver 1, you might hit Silver 2, you might hit Gold 1, every so often you'll hit somebody in Gold 2. So the question is, what MMR is this guy really? And that's a really tough one. There are a lot of things he's doing that I don't like. He doesn't have another CC. He should be getting more SCVs. The fact that he has idle SCVs, you should not be seeing this beyond... You're not going to see idle SCVs like this in Diamond. You might still see it in the lower tiers of Platinum. I don't know what build this guy is going for. What I can say, it's definitely beatable, but that's not really the point. Okay, so he's putting together, now he's expanding. Okay, so he's got 2 Reapers, 2 Hellions. He's not scouted at all. What's he building from this? He's building Hellions from a factory with a tech lab. No. It's also possible. Okay, so let's talk about this. The StarCraft 2 ladder and the way it works is that it tries to match you against a player of similar-ish MMR. Oh, there are the Liberators. Luckinator on Reddit mentioned. He's getting a bunker. Not too bad. Okay, then he's got a push. This is actually a pretty standard push. Well, not standard, but it's something, right? Okay, cancel the drone. Get the drone. No, it doesn't get the drone. Beautiful. Okay, Luckinator actually with some semblance of a defense. A couple of queens. Yeah. The queens can fight this. He didn't get link speed. I don't know why. A lot of drones are gonna die, even though he's floating 12k minerals. Okay, it cleans it up. How many drones actually died? Okay, quite a few drones. So while this would normally be very painful, the fact that Luckinator is floating this much money. Oh yeah, this happened. I think the Reapers have... Yeah, the Reapers have gotten more kills than the... Yeah, okay. So the other issue about determining whether somebody is a smurf is that when you do science, you always have 2 metrics. You need to have, you know, your control, and you need to have your test. Okay, here are some Liberators. Luckinator is falling apart, honestly. Double Liberator is actually kind of hard to hit. Like, by the way, the proper response to this is either you only send 1 queen, or you build a Spore Caller and then you move the Spore Caller across, because the Liberators will not fire on the Spore Caller. Okay, more Hellions are coming out across, more links are being made. You have a Roach Ward, man. Like, Roaches shut down the Hellions, and then the Liberators are... Like, this isn't even that good. If Liberators were here, then absolutely yes. Okay, he's got to reposition into the main. Okay, more queens are being built, roaches being built. Okay, I like this. Now, he said that the enemy had super good macro. That's not true. Like, this isn't being built from... This isn't being built from... The enemy's producing units, which is something. But this is not super good macro. Super good macro... Let's see, what time is it now? 7 minutes. On 7 minutes, you can be on like 50-60 drones, even with this kind of like attack. Okay, Luckinator is losing all his queens. That's sad. Again, the Spore Caller, he's down to 7 drones. There's an argument to be made for the game being over, but the game was over quite early on. More Hellions are coming. So here's the thing, because Lurkinator unfortunately is not playing his best this game, it's very hard to determine the skill of this player. Like, there will be a player that TY will hit that is better than him, and then TY actually has to play properly. Okay, so let's go back to the issue of smurfing, right? Which is that, and you'll see this when you watch Harstom's, not Monster GM, what's it called? Harstom's Rank Roulette, is that every so often you have Grandmaster players doing things that make absolutely no sense, simply because it's fun. Okay, so what can we say about this player? Okay, this player is probably 1 or 2 leagues above. Okay, but here's the other tough part, right? Lurkinator himself admitted that this is not a good game, so the question is, what is his standard game? Honestly, you could morph these into Ravagers. Do you have gas? Yeah, you could morph this into Ravagers and start taking down these Liberators. Okay, just dodge all the circles, it's not that hard. Yeah, okay, great, and then just slowly wither them away. He's got a Spore Caller here, that's something. Probably he's all like Lurkinator spending most of his APM fighting these Liberators, so it feels that way, but that's not really the case. The Terran's also floating a ton of money. I would guess that this Terran is definitely not Platinum. Okay, wait. Okay. By the way, my favorite reference is the NA server. So for those in Europe and Korea, I'm sorry. I would say this guy is Gold 2 or Gold 3, maybe Gold 1, but I would wager Gold 2. Lurkinator is probably... Okay, again, the replay did have his MMR, but the issue about MMR is that it fluctuates, right? There's no link speed. Still a mistake. I don't know why you wouldn't buy link speed. You can't push this position, like this is locked down tight. Again, so the question is, what is a smurf? Is it somebody 3 leagues ahead of you? 2 leagues ahead of you? What if it's somebody that's 2 leagues ahead of you but is playing a style that he doesn't play and therefore is worse? Right? A lot of Liberators actually getting a decent number of barracks that he can spend his money. Lurkinator is not doing too much. He doesn't have much money, to be fair. Still should be injecting. He's building a drone at a time. Again, Lurkinator lost this game a while ago, so let's get back to TY. TY should be getting a third, should have gotten a third base a while ago, but again, that's honestly higher level stuff. I'm actually leaning towards a potential smurf because assuming that TY is Lurkinator is playing, I would guess Silver 2. If he's going against Gold 2, that is a big enough disparity to mention it's a smurf. Now, coming back to the StarCraft 2 ladder, here's the thing. So, all I like is repairing the Liberator, is that it will try to match you against the closest MMR. If your MMR is 3000 and you're searching for a match, if there's somebody else that's 3000 and searching for a match, you're going to be matched with him, assuming it's on the same server. But if there's nobody at 3000, then the search parameters increase. If there's somebody at 3001 and you're at 3000 and you click search, you're going to be matched with the guy who's at 3001. This is more so when it comes to things like 2v2, but it can happen on if you're playing on odd hours or if you're just unlucky. If you're at, let's say, 2000, what's the biggest disparity? Like, I was once playing at 3001, I got matched with an opponent on 2007. Like, that happened. I did not smurf. I just matched against the guy didn't know what he was doing, and you know, or he was going for a build that didn't make any sense. I countered and I beat him. This feels like the MMR disparity is bigger than that. But, you know, okay, so this army's gonna come across. There's no way Lurkinator can hold this. He's got no Ravagers, he's got nothing. I expect him to GG in a few minutes. Or less. In fact, the moment this army stepped on creep, you could GG and it would make sense. Alright, here comes the Liberator. Okay, so Okay, GG is called. There we go. Right, so let's go back to that to the complaint post. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to the complaint. I'm a silver Zerg, yep. The toss player, the Terran player, blah 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 blah. I go complete disable somebody shouldn't be playing against a 5 MMR, so drops. Okay, so for context, this was the thing he said. The MMR of the Zerg was 2k, and the MMR of the Terran was supposedly higher at 1860. This is according to Job SC. But you can see, yeah, it's silver 2 against gold 2, exactly as I called it. Okay, so what are my thoughts coming back to what we saw in game? We'll go to GG EBD's response in a little bit. Okay, so at the end of the game, it was 130 to 180, partially because of the damage that was dealt. Way bigger army, 4 upgrades to 0. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the other issue that I understand happens at both ends of the spectrum, in the lower league and at the higher league. The average for a StarCraft 2 player, the 50% mark on the NA ladder, I believe is goal 1 or goal 2. The 75th percentile is diamond. The main statistic I take from that is when the Alpha Star was released, it actually stated that 75% of StarCraft 2 players by MMR are below Diamond 3, below 3200 MMR. So the reason I'm telling you this is that on the lower end of the spectrum, you tend to have greater swings because the number of people in Bronze League is like 10%. So the MMR variations and finding games could be greater, especially if you're on the silver end of the spectrum. So this player, as I called it, it looks like he's about goal 3 to goal 2, maybe goal 2 on a good day. He might be, if he was smurfing, he would be either goal 1 or platinum 3, and he's playing a style that he either, or he's just playing like a style that to smurf. That is a possibility. I will concede that is a possibility. But I don't really know. So here's what I will say, is that this does look like a smurf. I would agree with you, but he may not have been intentionally smurfing. That's just my take. GG, let's call it by his proper name. Gemini might actually have something better to say because he actually did reply. Let's go back to the balance complaint, the Reddit post. Okay, I'm curious. Okay, so he replied later. Here we go. Exaggerating. I wish I was playing a high silver Terran and this guy was leagues above that. Okay, so this is the big one. This is Gemini's reply. Let me see if I can add the web camera. Ah, that's why it wasn't plugged. It was in the wrong area. Okay. There I am. Okay, so let's get to this. A link to this will be down in the description. Zoom a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, I agree with the other guy. This guy looks like gold at the absolute highest, which isn't really a big mismatch. This sometimes happens when you get a bit bigger of a match disparity. Okay, this guy's floating a ton of bills in early game. Yep, focusing down the macro. Yep, that happened. Which is why it seems like he's smurfing, because he's paying a lot of attention to his unit and it's kind of decent at all. Okay, but that's literally the only thing he's doing when he's microing. Doesn't macro while he's doing it. Yep, he wasn't producing SCVs. He leaves idle SCVs. It's definitely not a smurf, just someone who decided to put his focus into microing harassing, which can net a decent result in low league since it can be harder to defend than execute. As he's really just rallying stuff without looking how units get there. Fair enough. For reference, I've coached people from every league and regularly see what gold silver games look like. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. Again, he's not. Gemini is a Grandmaster Protoss. He's very active in the scene. He lives in Korea. Let me give him a shout out. Nope, wrong place. Where is he? Okay, so for reference, Gemini, again, somebody who's awesome. I don't know why I can't find him on Twitter. All of a sudden, there he is. So this is the person. That's him. That's Trap. Again, this guy's a Grandmaster Protoss. He does coach. He knows what he's talking about. I respect his opinion. The one caveat I would like to put out, again, I do agree with what he's saying. One caveat I'd like to put out is that it is possible that this player is smurfing. There is a possibility. You know what? I'll call it this way. I think there's a possibility he's smurfing, but it's probably a 20 or 30% chance that he's actually smurfing. It's a 80 to 70% chance that your opponent, Liquidator, Mr. TY over Mr. TY, it's an 80% chance that on that day, you know, you'd happen to get hit with an opponent way better than you, and my webcam froze. What the hell? Again, I hate it when this happens. Yeah, so okay. So there's a much greater chance that you just happen to hit an opponent way better than you, and that's the thing that's very, very fair about the ladder. If you hit an opponent that is way below you and you beat him, you get a little bit of MMR. But if by some miracle you beat this guy, you get a lot of MMR that rewards you for your wins. That's how the ladder fundamentally works. So yeah, a lot to work on. Again, some tips for you. Some really simple tips that could really help your game. Number one, the moment the game starts, make some probes. There was a long delay before any drones were built. 5, 6, 7, good lord, 8, 9. What were you doing, man? Build some You've got money, build some workers. Unless you were specifically playing the 12 pool. Okay, never mind. You were specifically playing the 12 pool. Overlord, send him out. Even if you're gonna 12 pool, just send the Overlord out. Let him leave immediately. Yeah. Again, you're in a lot of trouble if the 12 pool doesn't work out. Go and take a look at some guides. Second Overlord, by the way. Okay, so first Overlord always goes across the map to the other side to scout for what's going on. Second Overlord also send him across the map. There's no point having these guys here. Again, unless there's a specific build you're going for, just make drones. Make this. You could probably squeeze out one more drone. The lava would have respawned, and then you would have been able to make your links. But again, going back to your opponent, nah, he is better than you. There is a chance he's worth it. Anyway, that's my analysis. Let's take a quick look at the Reddit thread and see if there's anything else of value. The video capture device froze again. Okay. Yep, smurfing is floating. Yep, I'm watching the replay. He's not a lot better than the average silver player. This is actually correct. Usually people don't even harass and God forbid they back. This is true. He's probably gold, blah 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 blah. He could be an off-race gold. That's possible. This doesn't happen often, but just twice in a row for me, I pissed out. Sorry that happened. Yep, that's me. He isn't smurfing, hard to say. Again, all I can say is that you did get hit by a player that's significantly better than you. You have to play better if you want to beat him. There is a chance that he was smurfing, but probably not. At the lower end of the spectrum, it's probable that... I'm just repeating myself. Yep. Alright. Okay, and with that, that, I am done. If you do like this content, again, looking at all the best out there on the ladder. I do have some circuits on my channel, but that's a separate thing. If you do like this content, do like and subscribe. Not for me, for the Zealot. What?